You have an incredible amount of strength, and someone will tell you, well, you have to do this or that, but why should you? You're like 100 atomic bombs, or even much more. They hide it because they don't want us to know our strength. At this moment, I look at myself, and my whole bed was covered in the same flowers. And I said to myself, I must have died and didn't realize it.
You died and didn't realize it.
For me, things are literal. When I want to see him, I tell him, I want to come visit you, I want to see you. I speak directly with the teacher.
Is the door always open on the other side?
Open how? You can say whatever you want to say. They will hear you and come. They'll arrive soon since you're already in the 5th dimension.
But time seems to take a lot of effort. Yes.
A lot of effort. Now things happen very quickly. All problems vanish, and you realize it's all an illusion. There are no problems. The problem is just in your head. Now imagine that we've been traveling around galaxies and let's say each in our own universe, and we meet here together. Is that luck? Trying to accumulate karma just doesn't seem normal to me. You can't just go into a life, play it out, play your role, and then have them show you and say, Oli, what have you done? And that's just complete nonsense.
What do you think? Sometimes we meet people who seem like they're not living just one life. They face all kinds of challenges, confront pain head-on, different kinds of suffering, different ideas that make them realize deep inside themselves who they are, what they're capable of, and show what the limits of the impossible are within us, to come back and show it for the sake of others. Today I will introduce you to a very interesting person, a woman named Emilia Kristova, and we can tell briefly how our synchronistic meeting happened. Actually, we were just shopping in a big hypermarket, and there her daughter met us and said, no, I'm not going to miss you now. Who knows when I'll see you again, maybe never, but I have to tell you. My mother has had many experiences, and it would be very interesting if she came and shared some of them, so that those who have had similar experiences or are wondering about some of these questions can get their answers, or at least be given another hint. The story is also what she knows. I confirm it to you as information, as energy. It really points to the idea that we should remember there is much more beyond what we call reality, the world, the real, the objective. And I invite you to listen with interest, because it really is very interesting. Welcome to Explorers of Reality. Thank you for responding, accepting, and agreeing to this conversation. It's twice as pleasant for me. Do you remember when you were a child, what was the first sign that you started to see things differently, that you began to see in a different way?
Well, as a child, I grew up and got carried away. Birds, dogs, cats, chickens, and people who weren't spiritual, very spiritual. I told you about my great-grandmother, whose life was very hard, very interesting, very faithful, very well-read, very educated for her time. And she gave me a push, or opened the doors to faith for me, or rather some kind of protection, which the faithful people at that time didn't have. People didn't talk about it, they didn't go. It wasn't allowed to go to church, and she was my first support, my first messenger, my first teacher. Keep in mind that I was only 6 or 7 years old when she passed away. But she used to read to me about Jesus, she read me books. She told me stories for 6 or 7 years while he was in front of her. She had seen him. And I know a lot of stories from her, and that's how the energy is. Maybe back then I didn't have an aura yet, and she hit me so hard in the chest that this thing has stayed with me even now.
And do you remember then how you imagined what she was telling you? How did you imagine Jesus, all these stories?
Back then, I don't remember how I imagined it, but in general, the stories were heavier, more tragic, like the story of Jesus, as it is described in the books. But she emphasized that he is the messenger of love, the ray of love, and the bearer of love, the supreme love, the unique, inexpressible love. Universal love, it is love everywhere, as energy, as vibration, because when you see it, you can't think of human love. You just feel how every cell of yours fills up, vibrates with love. It's a cleansing, a charging, an initiation into love.
This, when will I understand it? So that you can express it this way now?
I understood that later because I started to see it. It appeared to me several times. He brought me different things. He told me different things. I had quite a few experiences, but basically every time he appeared, the feeling is the same. You're flying and vibrating at a completely different frequency.
Do you believe everyone? We receive these signs to see and feel love in this way. Or for some of us, somehow. Invisibly.
For me, things are literal. When I want to see him, I tell him, I want to come visit you. I want you to come visit me. I want to see you. I want this and that. I talk directly to a certain teacher, or with some kind of angelic energy directly, or with someone who is far away with a visible me directly. Because the thought is everything. Whatever you say, he hears it, he feels it, and things happen very quickly.
And I probably can, but I'm curious. Are you thinking about something you've realized or seen, or someone told you and you said that's absurd? There's no way it could be. I can't believe it. And then you were surprised that it actually happened.
Oh, so many things. So many things. I don't even know. There are so many cases like that. Even right now.
What came to your mind?
Well, for example, I remember I used to say to myself very often, because I drink a lot of coffee, I want to have coffee with you. I want to have coffee with you. And in the evening, he always comes out of the wall across from the bedroom. He comes, and I had made myself some coffee. I thought, oh, he's here, so we can have coffee together. But he was carrying flowers, a bouquet of flowers. The flowers were different colors, like the flowers in the park. Some people call them marigolds, purple, orange, white, pink.
Like rainbow colors, but in flowers.
Yes. Every time she comes, she always carries something in her left hand, though I don't know why. And she carries a bouquet of flowers. And I say, here she is, finally coming to have coffee together, and I want to talk. I won't get up anymore to hug or bother the person who has come. I want to talk to him, but at that moment, I look at myself. My whole dress was covered in those flowers.
Uh-huh.
And I said to myself, here I am, I'm dead, and I didn't even realize it.
You're dead and you didn't even realize it.
And at that moment, someone takes me, literally grabs me by the waist, carries me up into the galaxy. We fly past stars, galaxies, and keep rising higher and higher. I'm flying, but my body isn't like it is during meditation.
How is it?
Connected by some kind of thread, or feeling the waves going forward, backward, up, down, no. Just a complete release. You're flying through the universe, seeing many galaxies. The colors were usually orange, pink, red. And galaxy after galaxy, and I even wonder where to. Just looking at a galaxy, if I liked something, I would head that way. It was simply my thoughts guiding me. At one point, I realized I wasn't breathing and took a breath, and I rose to another level, even higher. The galaxies were still the same color, but at a much higher vibration. Even redder, even pinker, even more orange, even bigger. I take another breath and I rise to yet another level, repeatedly 3 or 4 times. Then I notice that as I breathe, I rise. Breathing is vital, especially for yoga and meditation practitioners. So breathing is a very big secret, a very big one. and I rise even higher. But when I brought in the thought that as I breathe, I rise even higher, and I returned to the bed.
I went back to the bed.
Yes. There weren't any flowers, but the smell of green stayed in the room. And it was such an experience, such a great initiation into love, that after such an experience, you can't remain the same. You first notice the change, which is completely different on a cellular level, on a DNA level, spiritually, mentally, on every level. You start seeing the person in front of you differently. You see them as a spirit, as love, as one of your own.
How old were you then?
It was only about 20 years ago before.
20 years ago. And from then on, once you feel that love, which is always inside you, from that moment on, it started. No.
Back then, he used to visit very often. I also had a period when I couldn't eat or think. I wasn't a vegetarian, but I just didn't eat things with blood. Yes, I didn't eat meat. And really, the vibrations rise, but I started to feel very detached, really a lot. I could already feel that. I'm leaving, and
Nothing is keeping you here.
yes, sometimes I do. If I want to eat, I eat. Or I eat soup without thinking about it. I started eating little by little because I really decided to make a small change and to keep myself busy with something.
There was a very interesting story when you were little at school about how you stood up to your teacher and said that people don't come from monkeys. Now that I mention it, what memories does that bring back for you? How did you stand up for yourself at such a young age and refuse to believe in the standard that overwhelms us every day?
Well, I'm an Aquarius. I've never really fit into the standard. I've always had my own opinion, and I stick to my own feelings, my own perspective, to my own understanding in general. And I was very young. I was 17 years old. It was taught in high school, in 10th grade, I think it was. But there, from the beginning, our upbringing was like that. Our family ties were like that. Oparent's theory teaches that humans are already in the fourth stage. Humans were created from how mammals originated, and from there, people, and how humans were created from apes. However, the teacher knew that I didn't believe in this theory. I've discussed it with my classmates. Apparently, she heard from someone or overheard it. They laughed at me a lot, but they tested me 3 or 4 times on this, exactly on this part of the theory. I had about 3 failing grades, and the 4th one would be fatal, and she tested me exactly on that one. Stage. And of course, she calls me up to embarrass me in front of everyone. I have to tell the story, the theory. She embarrasses me in front of everyone, and angry gives me my 4th F. But I stay silent. I don't say anything. I can't. I just can't open my mouth, and you...
Did you know the lesson? The lesson...
I had read it 100 times and I already knew it by heart, especially... But that stage, though, when I stood up, I couldn't speak. I couldn't say a single word. It felt like someone was choking me and I couldn't speak. And she was already furious. She keeps repeating the theory about being burned. And so students come from the monkey and originated from the man. I tell myself, you might be able to, but I can't. And I took my textbooks, and that's how I failed biology. And I left, and that's how I finished with 2 schools. But now I'm observing something else as well. I just remembered Gabriella was in 1st grade. There's a lot of discussion about religion in schools. She was in 1st grade, and I called her, after all, I am a believer. Jesus is love. And I will enroll in religion class so that there is some foundation, so that she is with other children, so she can learn to be familiar, of course. The first religion class, Gabriela comes out in tears, all red. The teacher comes out furious. And I ask, why are you crying, honey? Well, the teacher told me that I'm blaspheming. Why are you blaspheming? What did you say that's so bad? And the teacher tells me, she keeps saying, God Jesus Christ, God Jesus Christ. And I told her that he is not God. And the teacher Barely. She complains to me. Your child is so ill-mannered, blasphemes and interrupts the lesson, and I ask, what did she say? She said Jesus isn't God. And I ask her, is he God? I'm teaching her about God as the absolute, as the eternal law, as the fundamental law of life, as the universal energy, as the soul, the common soul of all of us. Jesus or Christ is like the ray of love and is our teacher who has brought the love. Subscribe to the channel. And that's how she taught me, and now she argues with the teacher. And you are blaspheming too? I'm saying it right. You will dance folk dances, honey. And that's how we ended the conversation. I have nothing against people enrolling their children in religion classes, even having religion in school, studying religions, but to study even more or less the truth, what is God and what are clergy, teachers, and why, and subscribe to our channel. Prophets, like stories, like studying the new energy that we are in today. But things are very, very backward, very outdated, and that worries me. Otherwise, I have nothing against religion in schools.
Why do you think that? But then this teacher and many others like her stick to these frameworks.
These are some old dogmas, you know. These are old, they study from old textbooks. They take their exams this way, and that's the church, and that's it.
Well, that's a big paradox, and thank you for saying it, because goodbye. We haven't had many guests who speak this way, from the point of view that or the person identifies as a believer, meaning they attend church or totally rejects all of that. And what's interesting about you is that you have a very deep connection with prayer as a way of fulfillment, of invocation, of creation, and many other methods. And over time, you have seen and touched upon other cultures as well, let's call it that, quite a few. And for quite a long time, and it's interesting that you say that, because despite all of that, you still found your way to, in this case, Joshua or Jesus. And you stand up and say it. And from the limited framework that says and acknowledges something that's just the way it is, you exclude an entire universe of knowledge.
From knowledge and truth, yes. Well, I've been asked in several languages. I even had prayers in Russian, which I used in Russian because they sound much better in that language. I feel vibrations in that language and have prayers in Arabic. In Bulgarian, in Sanskrit, I use mantras. It depends on my mood or which teacher I'm communicating with. And I use that.
When did you realize that you could connect with different teachers?
When was the first time you saw that I was on the road? The spiritual path. I saw 4 teachers. One of them was wearing a turban. One of them was elderly. One of them was young. He is the same as Pusa. I don't remember if Christos was among those teachers.
But there were 4 teachers.
But there were 4 teachers, and the 4 teachers were visually from different religions. Your clothes, because that was the feeling of a dream, and...
Sorry to interrupt, but at that moment, did you intentionally enter that state to seek contact? Or did it just happen to you?
No, at first it was totally unconscious. I was just praying a lot. I was praying. I had some prayer beads that had 1,000 beads. And I prayed a lot. And with the prayer, with such beads, it brings you many angels and souls. A lot of energy. And not everyone can endure praying with such beads. And
For people who don't know, can you just briefly explain how it's done, how you do it?
the prayer?
Yes, with the prayer rope.
The prayer, it's simple. There are some words or a mantra, or if it's in Arabic, names of God, for example, there are different names. And you say them, but this is a science because it involves calculations, like saying something 3,600 times or more, or 2,700. I lost count of how many times. The letters and vibrations are multiplied there with the numbers for a certain vibration, and you must say it a certain number of times. And this is a science, but this can be done by a person who is very faithful, with very strong energy. You love God very much. And you need to have a teacher, some kind of protection. Because at some point, if you have any attacks, because after such prayers, there is always some kind of attack, like a backlash. You have to endure, or you need to have a teacher whom you can rely on, because it's very difficult. Otherwise, it's really hard. But still, you change at the cellular level. You change situations, you change your life, you change the vibrations around you, the vibrations of people. You can feel it.
And you met the four of them. Yeah, that got interesting.
I can't limit myself.
It was unconscious. No, it wasn't conscious.
No, absolutely not. Even to this day, I think that one of them was,
Babaji.
but he was wearing a turban. Very beautiful. I've seen him after that too. If you have love for them, if you have a relationship, if you have a strong desire to see them, they come to communicate and have no trouble coming to us. The problem is with us that we don't connect with them.
What was one of their first messages when they arrived?
In Latogi, I saw the road was,
Golden.
yes, golden, like golden stones. And I led many people after me. Many people, probably 200, 300 meters or more, since they were several turns behind me. They tell me which way to go. There was a path up and a path down. I turned around, saw several people behind me, and wondered if I was dreaming on this path. I won't be able to lead them up or down this path. The path is private. So I said, let's take the royal road. I said, we have a saying about taking the royal road. And they split up. They smiled. They split up. They made way, and I kept hopping up the golden road. And that was it. A nice experience. These are signs that...
How do you interpret them? Overall, for us, what do these signs mean to you?
There aren't any according to religion. And his is on the divine ones. His is on the government of... The galactic government is one. And why? Unchangeable.
You live men again. There is a part of us that constantly makes us hold on and pretend that we are not one. Why do we make it so complicated?
Oh, I don't know if it's a plan. Maybe. When it gets harder, someone says it's sweeter. I don't know, but there's some kind of plan you see that we can't really see as a whole. Still, the collective energies, our thoughts, subscribe. It makes that plan, it constructs it in some way. And that's why we need to clear our thoughts and cleanse our energy. And we need to focus. The focus, as you tell me, but because I lose focus, where needed otherwise, how?
Do we know where we need to direct our focus? Well,
Signs will follow the signs. Signs all the time.
let's give an example to someone who wants an example now. What does it mean to follow the signs? How do you explore?
I always follow them, even... I changed my job, I got a sign again. Even before I came here, I turned on BG radio. For example, when I go to my father's grave, I don't go often, but whenever I do, I always turn on BG radio because I don't know English. And he always has something to tell me. When I turn it on, the song feels like he's speaking to me. Before I came here, when I left, there was a song about friendship. And now, I am you, I am you, I am you. My book. And these are signs. Look around, listen carefully, because it's very different for everyone. Everyone is a different stage of their development. It's not that there's someone higher than the other.
With me, you will choose.
It's necessary for a person to go through a major catharsis in order to become self-aware.
Spiritually and view the world differently.
I hear that there are people who nothing ever happens to them. Their life is smooth and happy, yet they've still had experiences. But in my opinion, the pain itself, the very burning, the horror itself, to cleanse to such an extent, the exhaustion itself, that for me it's essential and a quality improvement. Quality. Now that you ask, I remember a book by Chami, one of my favorites, about Milarepa. He wants a teacher to make him a yogi. After seeing several people, he finally met a teacher who made him carry sacks up a mountain. He says, "You're not a teacher, you're just making me haul sacks of stones up the mountain." But after that, he realizes that this exhaustion, carrying those sacks of stones up to the top several times, you get so exhausted and fired up that you actually leave your body. This is a kind of meditation. You leave your body, your thoughts stop from exhaustion, and you see your energy. And for me, it's fine. I bless all that has happened to me. From the very first day, it's true, Aya. I wanted to say something about there isn't this manifesting, yes. It's completely different from prayer. But this manifesting, for example, now, they want to have a business, they want to have a car, they want to have a house, and these repeated vibrations, it might bring them some success for a while, but it's not spiritual elevation.
What's the difference with...
Well, that's pure grounding because I've done it too.
And it
Works. It works. When I tell you the movie. But then you feel that it works and you understand, but grounding yourself lowers your energy. It's not spiritual development. If someone wants to develop spiritually, that's not the way. If someone wants to achieve something, let them do it. It's a personal choice.
Excuse me for interrupting your interesting program, but I am very excited to share with you what we have been preparing for almost a year. Our updated website, INRA BG, and especially our individual space, which is for INRA members, includes monthly webinars with us on extremely interesting topics about life and our existence, in discussions, answers to questions, and participation with you yourselves. A closed Telegram group where we communicate daily and share with you what we are going through during a specific period. Additional PDF books and materials that have helped me tremendously to become the person I am today and continue to help me every day so I can keep developing. Audio meditations, both guided and just music, with the exceptional voice of Navalia. Video meditations, something new. Meditations and just music. Meditations for healing, for channeling, for connection. Videos and video materials that are uploaded which you won't find on the YouTube channel. And also selected videos from YouTube that don't have ads. Thank you very much for all of this. Visit the INRA BGF website and check it out. We've included everything we have at the moment. Also, let me say, the personal meetings with me, with everyone we meet with every week, are now moving to INRA BGF meetings. You can click and see the terms, which are absolutely the same. It's just that the link is now adapted to our website and you can register from there. Thank you to each and every one of you for your time, your energy, and your choice to continue supporting and following everything we do. This journey is endless, and you are endless as well. Thank you for sharing a small part of infinity together with us. How do you define spiritual growth, in your opinion? What should a person seek?
Well,
First, to see his true self. to see his energy, his soul, to see his strength. It's important to recognize his strength since they are doing everything they can to keep us from seeing it. Everything possible. How?
We see our strength. Well, what did I expect asking you?
Well, we were just talking about the matrix and about this golden energy, crystal energy, that I see it in the silhouettes of people. Oh, Pache. It's a single unit, like, it's not even an identical one. It's not. Yes. It's like ours. Like our human matrix, but it's energetic. But this is intelligent energy. We're given certain qualities, like with the crystal or golden one. Every energy, every light is intelligent. We are a very strong, intelligent energy, and we need to learn to use it and work with it.
And when you said first to realize who we are, then
Usually, awareness comes with a lot of meditation. For example, Buddhists who meditate often, for instance, can go in and out of their bodies and see a lot. They see the true essence. They see different souls, different energies, encounters with different teachers. But one of the paths is prayer, the other is meditation. But sometimes neutrality. When I say meditation, there are many paths. Everyone.
because now it sounded like just one.
Two, yes, as many people as there are that many ways. For example, I had one way to meditate. When I am very overwhelmed and in the evening I can't do anything like pray or use the prayer beads or something, I imagine that my head is an empty room, an empty box. My thoughts leave the room. I close the door, shut out all thoughts, and my mind becomes an empty room. And when the thought stops, the energy immediately leaves. The goal is to train it and to do it right so the energy can leave and you can exit your body. Once you get out of your body already, it becomes absolutely. When I say a change in energy, you are in such ecstasy that you forget all your problems, and when you come back, you are already a new person. You see things in a completely different way, and all the problems disappear and you see that all of this is an illusion. And no problem. The issue is only in your mind. There's no real problem. I'm not the one telling anyone, not even my children, what to do. She knows I don't say do this or that. No, everyone, she is a separate person and she needs to find a way to relax and to meditate and to get somewhere.
Emilia, do you think we have the opportunity to foresee what will happen to us and to those around us?
Some people have, yes, sensitive people who feel. I've seen many things that later happened to me. For example, I see them months or years before and they happen exactly as I saw. This thing is connected to the matrix. And premonition might be the connection with the energy of a certain person, that something might happen to them or something much closer. We need to stay focused, not agree with everything that happens if we don't want it. We just have to say that we don't want it. If we all say we don't want it, it simply falls apart.
I'm not sure what will come in its place.
In its place, something higher will come. There is still a plan and laws guiding us. We follow rules so chaos can't occur. We simply rise one level higher, level 2, 3.
The point is that we are moving faster. You said you've had such dreams, or do you experience them in different ways?
In different ways, both dreams and visions.
Can you tell us about an instance where you dreamed it or some time passed? 10 years went by before it happened, and suddenly you realize, wow, how long have I known this?
There are many cases. The apartment that my daughter bought recently, I had dreamed about it years ago when there was no apartment there. But there was a bathroom. That bathroom later became a disco. I dream I'm standing where the bathroom was, but it's replaced by an apartment building, which is orange and gray, and I wonder why they chose those colors for the building. And where's the bathroom? And after some time, like 20 years or more. My daughter bought it, yes, my niece bought the apartment. And weavers? I've dreamed of things like, for example, that I'm traveling in Turkey, and I dreamed of an apartment that wasn't finished. Our room was furnished and our clothes were hanging on the rack. I dreamed of the kitchen tiles and the clothes on the rack arranged in the same way. The children who hadn't been born yet, the apartment that hadn't been built at that time, I had dreamed about them.
Then you see it?
That she's healed, that's correct. They put on their best clothes. For example, the mattress, clothes, and tiles were all chosen similarly. And she wondered who depends on us. Did we choose the tiles or were they chosen for us? Much earlier, we said yes, 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 we agree.
Or both, somehow.
In yes,
In harmony.
yes.
How do you see it? It's a question of free will and destiny.
Well, free will in this struggle. Even when we're up there, I think we accept life here before coming down. That's where free will is, because that's where the manipulation is. Because they make us agree to something that might actually offend us. That we will gain some qualities but they are very hard to go through. Life is very hard to go through right now. And then it enslaves you with some kind of karma, which to me doesn't seem normal. You can't agree to live a life, play your part, and then later be shown and asked, Ollie, what have you done? That's complete nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
What do you think?
It means a person should also think up there. They should think here too. At every level, you have to connected, yes, connected to your consciousness, because to say no, I don't agree. And up there, I don't agree. And here, I don't agree. I disagree. We make changes.
In other words, we can change it.
We can change them. Yes, we can. We can, but we need to focus on that and clearly say what we don't want. We must clearly express both what we want and don't want. We can.
It's very interesting because even when we talked for the first time, I noticed this about value. How, there are some things that many people repeat, but you said, I have the right to say no. I don't understand it that way. I don't want to experience it that way. And that's freedom.
Yes.
Because otherwise, even if a person wakes up and sees many things that work differently like this, you still rely on a collective framework. This has to be done in this way. You have to wake up in this way. You have to do these things. You have to believe in these things. Exactly. There, it's the opposite again.
They take you from one channel and put you into another channel. You have to be very careful. I claim to be an Aquarius, but I'm not. So what I feel at the moment well, it comes as a mood, as an idea, as energy, and I do it. But the fact that someone else does it, I believe I don't agree. I need to feel it, otherwise.
I have a question. When we spoke, you told your story several times. When you say, I enter this space, something happens and I see the matrix, that's exactly what happened. Like as if I experienced it, as if I had it. However, to always discuss it like this is the matrix. Well, not exactly. Where is the difference between this déjà vu that everyone, a lot of people and we've said it too, we consider it synchronicity. Something happens, oh, I've been here, I've experienced this, and I say to myself, oh yes, I'm on the right path. But what's the difference with what you're saying? Is this some kind of pattern that you have a bit more of a negative attitude towards it?
Well, I don't really know how I understood it, and I say that she explained it. Yes, I don't know, but Something that's happening to me. I'm trying to get through it because, for example, I go to some lecture and I want to get through it. I want to clear the matrix, but you see how you're in the matrix and how your things are. They happen in the same way, and your movie is playing out. And it tells you, oh, no, here you can't. For example, to get out of the matrix, either you don't have the right, or it's not good, or this is where you belong. No, this is not where I belong. We need to feel our energy and we need to say, no, I don't agree. Actually, my little granddaughter had a birthday and I gave her a toy airplane as a gift. And I say, free to fly and free to think. Be free to think. Everyone has their own head on their shoulders and should think. I'm trying to change, but I'm trying to change in a way that doesn't hurt people too much. I don't want to mess up their lives. For things to fit together in a less painful way. But if you don't like something, don't agree to it. Just say no, that's it. No one. You don't have to do it. Let him show you on the computer that you agreed, but you have to. No, I don't want to. I agree, this is pure manipulation, but I don't want it. I want to experience something else, normal, to experience completely. Another life, yes. Yes. I was arguing downstairs, but from
Strength. That's from the strength, because
emotion.
she pushed us today, calling it Star Wars Day.
May the Force be with us. The Force.
Be with us. And look, that's exactly when, the way she says it in those moments, you really feel the power. The power of, well, of the freedom that flows through us. Everyone, her.
Has it, yes. You have an incredible amount of strength, and someone will tell you, well, you have to do this or that. Why should you? You're like 100 atomic bombs, for example, or even much more. But they hide it. They don't want us to know our power. Who hides it? They don't want us to know. Well, there is some kind of government. There is some kind of plan that says, no, you will stay like this. For example, you will get sick from COVID, or you will live in a certain way, or you will go to church, or... And so, they have a lot of things of their own. Thank you. Can a priest learn to see his own strength? Can he learn? You go to church and they sprinkle you with some willow branch, freshly picked from the river. They put it on a table and sell it to you for 2 or 3 leva. And on top of that, you even kiss the river. What has this church taught and received?
Well, that's the thing. I've noticed it so much in the last few months that it's ingrained in our DNA to be sinful, to be like that, to have to be.
Guilty?
And
To have a reason to go, to leave, to... Yes.
Yourself.
confess to.
To cleanse, to confess. Lord, you are God. Confess to him. He listens, so confess to whomever you wish. If you want, confess before Christ, Muhammad, before the Lord, before the angels. Confess, say it. I'm a sinner, but I want to change my life. Tell me, what do you want? Subscribe.
Is the door open on the other side?
Open how? Open how? Always, whatever. I say this directly. Say whatever you want. They hear you and will come. They will come, and very quickly, because we are already in a completely different dimension. We are already in the 5th dimension. Things happen very quickly now. Very quickly. It's not like it used to be.
But nowadays it seems to take a lot of effort to...
It took a lot of effort, but now things move quickly. You just say, and pure thought and energy communicate a lot. That's important.
Now, compared to you today and right now, with the energy that can be felt across the whole planet, it's interesting. What do you feel when communicating with the energy world, with the other side in your daily life at the moment? What's happening right now?
Now, my daily life is very interesting because I live with many angels. First, I see a lot of versions of myself. We are collectively with angelic energy. We are collectively with different energies. And human energy is not just some kind of ray or some kind of little woman. We are collectively made up of many qualities. I move with an army of energy. That is, I am intelligent energy. So there are many people like me. There are many people. Thousands, millions. There are so many people now. I can say one thing. If I say 30%, that's too little. Many people are afraid to speak. Subscribe. They're hiding. Some just do it. They don't think they need to talk. Others don't realize they're doing it. Our sensations are a bit different, but it should be known that we are an alien cosmic avatar. We haven't come. We were born here. We have come, and we come from many parts of the galaxy, the universe overall, and other galaxies. And we are very different energies. I am talking about my energies, which I see, because I have been, for example, on some planets, on some stars. You have been on others. And now imagine that we have been wandering galaxies, and let's say each in their own universe, and we meet here together. Do you think that's luck?
It's unique. For me, it's something unique. Right at
This moment, great happiness, that's luck.
unique.
Is the luck to give birth to her, for example. So many people. That's luck. People are very different. And you will first... Things will be revealed? By the way, I had a dream that UFOs and things like that were coming. Round. Covered in lights that span the entire Earth. Millions. They just cover the whole Earth. And because he says that in 2025, 2026, things will open up and they will start talking openly. And it has already happened. You shouldn't be here. No. We've already experienced it on another level, and it has happened.
What do you think humanity needs to do, or each of us, whether in our daily lives or in our bigger plans, our own, to be even more open to all of this, to become more allowing and not so controlling?
That's quite a philosophical question. I look at it from my point of view, because the energy of Christos is love, and Nogowomiwa, very compassionate. And even now, there's this trend in the way people talk. I'm the most important, I'm number one, and which Christ can't say that exactly like that. It makes sense to the extent that you are divine in your essence, you are a divine spirit, but we need a little compassion. We need to turn to others a bit. Because we are all one. I am you and you are me. Yes, and we need to open up to each other, not just a little, because that's selfishness. And this materialistic society, there was even such a guest. People are leaving the city and moving to the countryside. I dream of living in the countryside. I dream about it because in the city everything is stagnant and life becomes more lifeless. There's no air, no life. But there is...
Blossoming, yes.
There is life and air. There is energy. And everything is set. Everything becomes solid as concrete. We pollute the air.
And dirty.
And a dirty head.
Does that make you sad, or do you just watch from the side?
Well, I'm sensitive even though I know we're in a movie. Subscribe, but I just can't shake it off. If ever, yesterday I cried over a pigeon. I just can't let it go. Yesterday, my husband was driving me to work and I saw a seagull. It caught a pigeon and started pecking at it, eating it. But we were in the left lane and I couldn't stop to get out and save the pigeon. And I started crying. A man walked by with his Roma child. He grabbed Golarusa, took his pigeon and left. The pigeon was already dead, but he took it from his mouth and I think I'll throw it away. He wouldn't let him peck at it, and I thought, that's humanity. That's something we miss so much. So even though I know I'm like this in the movie, and we all are, but things like that, sometimes even very small things they move you.
Sometimes even just listening to something like that makes you, totally makes you think.
You see, that person is truly a great person. Great.
Was there, from all your stories and experiences, because right now we're just barely touching the surface very lightly, but is there an experience that was very intense and you've never told anyone about it? And now you feel like sharing it with us? Something unknown, maybe.
Things with my father-in-law that we've had. An experience just the two of us, for example. He enters the room. I see someone follow him. I go in, but only he is there. Amen. Have we had such interesting moments? And about the other thing, I have a stone. Yes, it's a stone from the Nile. When I was in Sudan, my mother-in-law, the last time I saw you, you were, whatever illness. And next to her, by her head, there was a stone. Maybe roughly 10 by 15 centimeters, just a regular river stone. Muhammad and he wash themselves with the stone. When they're sick, they can't stay to wash themselves with water. To pray, they rub themselves against the stone. And then they pray. And we talked a lot with her. She told me, you are blessed, may you be, because of the goal you gave us. And many, many kind words came, which to hear them from someone is something big, but to hear them from your mother-in-law is wonderful. And she left, she passed away. Next year, I'm coming back. My father-in-law, he was lying on the bed, and we had told him, because he was already old, he was old, and he gets nervous when he knows I'm coming. They start painting, cleaning up. He starts rushing everyone, so we didn't tell him I'm coming. And I walk in. His son says, Grandpa, you have grapes. He jumps out of bed when he sees me, and the stone falls from his bed. Next to his pillow, the stone had turned black from rubbing. I hug it, and I say that this stone is comforting me. Such things are valuable to me.
And they, yes, how should I put it? They don't shake you up, but
This stone,
they take it out.
it contains, yes, a lot of pain, a lot of love. Not why? Should I hold it now? Quite a while. And that's it. Maybe I haven't told you that.
Yes. How do you think we turn? And we can learn to turn grief into love. When something has hurt us a lot, and to find the strength to turn it around, to see its good side.
To see the good side, we still need to know. That's what life is about. Life isn't just a movie. An interesting movie. I always say life is very interesting. And if I remember this thing that, and it's a movie, and that this isn't
Is the only one.
the only thing there is, as I recall the power that we can change it, and things would look different. But I still, despite all the experiences, initiations, and energy that I have, I'm very sensitive and little things like that. They affect me. I can endure really big things, but with little ones like that, They are of great importance.
What would you say to all the people who are just beginning their journey of self-awareness? They have started to ask questions, to feel the energy around them, and they are wondering, where to? Well, somewhere bombla you.
I don't like giving advice to younger people, but they should do everything possible to find their own path, their own techniques, to discover their strength. You need to see your strength, to see how powerful you are, how great you are, how strong you are, how beautiful you are. And when you see the truth, then you will live your life in a different way. And you see the other person in the same way, that she is a goddess, that she is beautiful, that she is great. Thank you. Until you see yourself in the true light, you can't appreciate the other person either.
You have to describe what the truth is in one sentence. What would you say?
The truth is law. The truth is law. We are obedience to a great law, to a great energy, to a wise energy. This is wisdom and law. That's how I see things. I'm not imposing it on others. We are, and we are their creators. Are they creators? And we are like the hands of God. We are the children of God. We are Him, actually.
Indeed.
Indeed. God in action, yes.
To the very end.
To the very end. There is no end. There is no end. The point is to push off a little so we can move faster, because we're here, as big as we've become.
Emilia? A bow and thank you. It was a great pleasure for us to have you as our guest today. We would really be happy to talk again and to enter this space because you have the strength and the quality to call out the space around you and to immerse, to make a person reflect. Thank you very much for your valuable presence, the wisdom you shared, and everything you said today.
I thank you clearly.
Hello, thank you very much for watching the latest episode of Isla Dovatelnia Realnost. Subscribe if you want to watch more like this in the future. Leave a thumbs up, we won't be mad at you. Share it with your friends. Become a member of the channel because the more the merrier. Thank you for... We are moving together towards a true awakening, an awakening of each one of us from the illusion that surrounds us. We thank each of you for your support, perseverance, patience, understanding, honesty, and for embracing change. See you soon.